Good morning. Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at our waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight. Kick your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift your weight, kick your butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up our span, parallel feet. Choose one side, cross and sit on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're going to practice our Tai Chi posture to incorporate it into our Golden Cockerel and our kick out. So what is good Tai Chi posture? First, we know that our head has to be erect. So it's held up by a silk silver thread all the way through the heavens, through the middle of our skull, all the way through the middle of our body, touching the various dantian points. The main one being 2 inches below your navel, which is the center of gravity called dantian. So that cable or thread is held up through the heavens, keeping us erect rather than swaying from one side to the other, forward or backwards at all times. As a result of this cable keeping us erect, we need to drop our shoulders. Dropping your shoulders brings relaxation. It also brings maybe 3 elements along with it. Once you drop your shoulders with your head erect, you notice that your middle finger sits to the side of the seam of your pants, along with a little concave or hollowing out of your chest, as well as a tucking of your butt. So the butt is never protruding, neither is it straight up, neither is your chest straight, but taking a relaxed position as a result of the shoulder being dropped. Our chin is not parallel to the floor, but slightly dipped downwards. But our eyes and our glance are straight ahead out into infinity rather than down to the floor. Our gap now could be a little wider, mainly because we're going to practice and there is definite movement. When we start a form, the feet are together. But because we're just practicing, because when we do a form and we commence, we will take care of the width in which we need to move. But because we're doing good Tai Chi posture and there is going to be movement as this being a Golden Cockerel, we need to establish our footwork and that gap right away. Okay? So we have good Tai Chi posture. We need to shift our weight to the left foot to be a Golden Cockerel standing on its left. A cockerel is a bird. Okay? We learned that we have now 50% of our weight on each of our feet and legs. We need to shift from our right to our left. So we don't just shift quickly like this and take the chance that we're going to be able to balance. We think through the process and we make our body move in increments, slowly to get there. So if now we're at 50-50, we're going to have to drain the weight off of our right foot to give it 40, 30, 20, and 10. In the meantime, the foot that's going to be planted, which is our left foot, will gain all our body weight. So if we're standing here in good Tai Chi posture, we're going to slowly drain the weight to shift to our left foot so that our right foot can lift up its heel, on its sole, on its toes, and we can come up. We said when we come up, this foot cannot just come up straight this way. It should come slightly to the center of our body. So can we just practice that a little bit? And it's just feet right now, okay? So we know we said that we needed good Tai Chi posture with a span rather than something close. The span shouldn't be that big, okay? We know that we're at 50-50. We know that we want to stand on our left foot. Therefore, the right foot has to be weightless, but weightless in increments, in slow degradations, rather than just shifting right away. We also said that we wanted this foot to come up towards the center of our body, so you're going to have to dip this way. Can we try that now? 50-50. shift your weight on your toe and come up. Come back down. Let's do the other side, 50-50. So same way, if Golden Cockerel stands on its right, the weight of the left has to be changed and it has to come up towards the center of our body, okay? That wasn't too bad, but we need to incorporate safety measures because our mind and our hands have to get into play. So how does that get into play? First, let's take the mind. You have to focus on what you want to do. Your focus and your concentration has to be thinking it through, but also centering and using your dantian area, your center of gravity. So as I'm concentrating and processing what I have to do, my mind and my thoughts and focus is 2 inches below my navel, okay? But hey, there's something else going on, and that one I can't check, but that's the power of your own focus to be able to do that. But you notice in this Golden Cockerel, I use my hands. So we're now going to learn how to use our hands to be safer. Just as though the right foot comes up and centers our body, the right hand takes the same position. It centers our body in each of the alternate cases, okay? So what do I mean by that? If we know that the right foot has to come to center our body, we also have to make sure that the right hand centers our body. Okay, so can we do that on the right? And then can we do it on the left? Okay, so we learn now that when this foot comes up, it comes to the center. We know that what's going to help us is that the right foot comes up, the right hand comes up. It's almost as if it's copying each other, okay? So we look at the hand now. Do you see my hand pushed in tight like this? And do you see my foot tight in like this? That's not going to give you better balance. It's going to tense your muscles up. So you want to be able to somehow eventually get it so that it's a little softer and slower and more relaxed, but yet directed, okay? We talked about the hand that follows the foot, whether it's the right hand, right foot, or if it's the left hand, left foot. We need to look and address our other hand, which has a really specific, important role. The other hand, if you can watch and kind of think about what I'm doing so that I can talk about specifically, the other hand has a specific role. This is how it should hold a ball to the side of our hip. It also should be pumping down while we go up. It should come down by pumping and giving us that support that we need. It doesn't have to be exaggerated, but it needs to be incorporated. So we learned a few things about this other hand. This other hand comes down and sits to the side of our thigh, but in this kind of fashion, okay? One comes up, one goes down at the same time, It sits to the side of our thigh as if it were holding a ball, the top of a ball. So to come up this way, we would never be able to grasp that ball. Why? Because my hands and fingers are too straight and tight in. We need to relax them as if it were holding the top of a ball, okay? So I've said a lot, so we can just try it out for size right now, okay? And when you do it, you try to get all the elements in, but in doing so, you have to look at timing and you have to look at relaxation. So say, for instance, if I'm already in good Tai Chi posture and I want to do a movement such as Golden Cockerel, if I tense up, that's not going to help me. So I need to relax and come up in a very synchronized, very deliberate, specific way. Okay, I'm gonna turn around and we can practice. Okay, so we now know that we need a span. We now know that good Tai Chi posture is incorporated. We're dropping those shoulders. As a result, we feel that our butt is tucked under, our chest is hollow, and we forgot to say our knees are relaxed. Not to the point where they're bent because there's no action yet, there's no movement, but they shouldn't be stiff up like this, but they should be relaxed, ready for action. Our natural place to put our middle finger is to the side seam of our pants. Our tongue on our palate and our chin slightly down, our glance way ahead, okay, to the front of the room. We're going to be a golden cockerel standing on its left. Right now we have 50% evenly distributed on each side. We're going to shift our weight from our right foot to our left, right hand up, right hand centered, right foot up. Down, center, push down on the right hand, down, come in, center, down. One more set. Okay. So in doing this, I know you're watching me and I was trying ever so hard not to falter because I know that would also lose your concentration. But when you practice, you should think about what sensations you feel. While I was doing it and I wasn't sure or confident that I would be stable, I used my hand to bring my foot up. So there's a connection in what we do. Connecting things in our mind, connecting things in our body, making the movements smoother. So what did I just mean? If I were to come up with my right foot, and I feel that I'm faltering, I bring my right hand up even higher and make that stronger so that this foot can follow suit. I try to connect the sensations that I feel and the body movements that I can allow myself. So Ken's motioned it to me because what I did leave out is that it's not merely a movement of the foot and movement of the hand. It's not this. It's like a soldier here, okay? And we're not soldiers. So what is it that I'm using? Yes, I'm using my danten for better balance and point of gravity. But I'm also using and engaging my core muscles. Not just from my shoulder or arm or hands or toes and knees and thighs, but everything in my core. And that is what Tai Chi offers us. So a lot of times we said, well, we don't have to do our core. I can do it like this. No, you're losing the bigger factor in learning what your body can do for you and strengthening your core. That's the thing that's going to take you far in preventing accidents and learning more about your body. So what do I mean by core? We're using this back area and this back area muscles to then make it come up, make our movement happen for us. And when we shift our weight and we use our core, our hand doesn't just necessarily push down. It comes with everything being moved together. So Tai Chi is not purely feet, Tai Chi is not purely hands, but everything that works together. That's why it's unique, powerful, and when you watch someone doing it, it looks like everything about them is in a trance because they're not only concentrating, but they're using everything in sync. There's nothing piecemeal about it. There's no jerkiness. But true, we're beginners, so we're going to allow for some of that to happen piecemeal kind of thing, but slowly our ultimate goal is to put everything and mesh them all together. So it's an ongoing journey or challenge for us. Looking at now how we kick out. When we kick out, we use safety measures. We know that we want to be able to kick out with our right. Therefore, the right hand stays on the outside of the cross and follows the kick in a counterbalance way. This is counterbalancing. I'm following my kick with my right hand, right foot. My left hand stays and counters the movement rather than not counter. This doesn't give me a counter. Counter because we want to be able to balance a little stronger, a little better. If we had two hands coming together in the same direction, it's pulling me towards a fall, towards this way. I need to counter, okay? So here again, when we kick out with our right or left foot, we center our body and we come out. We do not kick out this way, all right? Because it's going to then pull us. But our center of gravity is here. So therefore, when we come up, the cross helps us here with our center, and then we kick out this way. So in moving on, if we say that our right hand has to be on the outside of the cross, and the cross is not at our fingers, it's crossed at our wrists, and there's a definite contact, because it centers us, and when we release, it should be coming out at the same time. With that in mind, when we kick out with our left foot, our left hand has to sit on the outside of the cross. And this again brings my foot up, and then comes up. Okay, can we try that? Good Tai Chi posture, good span first. Energy and chi evenly distributed. We know we want to kick out with our right. Therefore, it has to be weightless. And the left foot has to take all the weight. We gather our energy as we shift our weight. Right hand, right foot up and out. Opening up our span, shifting our weight, left hand, left foot up, and out. Counterbalance and follow the kick. Shift weight, right hand outside, right foot up, and out. Left hand, left foot up, and out. So I know you're doing very good, very well. I know that you're listening and following as best you can. I know for a fact most of us can process all of that by watching, by taking it in. But then the biggest issue is making your body do what you know you're supposed to do and see. Okay? So what does it do? It requires practice. It requires patience on your part, of course patience on my part, but it's nothing, it cannot be accomplished just within a few minutes, a few hours, or a few days. But it's an ongoing project, you might say. Why? One, we may not understand the workings of our system. Two, our body and strength of one limb or the other limb may not be able to carry all that weight that we have. And what is it then going to take? It's going to take building of muscles, endurance, over time and conditioning. It's going to take work, it's going to take time. To expect yourselves to do it efficiently all the time that you set up to practice is not realistic, okay? So don't add more pressure. Also to the point where you say, well, I can't balance. Just forget it, because it makes my life easier. Well, really, it doesn't make your life easier. When you're in a challenging position or situation and you know that you have strength because of whatever activities you've done, it will kick in and give you a much more mileage in a positive way. Not guaranteed, but we can work at it, okay? All right, any questions so far? Covering a lot. I'm expecting not a lot, okay, but I'm expecting everything done in a pace that's comfortable for you. Why should we come into Tai Chi class to learn Tai Chi if there is so much pressure and stress? Does that make sense? Okay? All right. We will go over now leg work, feet work, and then try to put hand work together. Realize that there are students in here who have seen me and been in this session for more than 2 or 3 times. Realize also that some of you, this is only your first lesson or second lesson, but we are able to, I feel that I'm able to teach all of you no matter what experience you have, right? We said that in doing our feet work, we learned 3 or 4 different postures. The first one is the T stance. When we look at a capital letter T, it sort of looks like this. The right foot is the cap of the T. The left foot is the stem of the T. We also learned that to have a T stance, the planted or the cap of the T bears all the weight. The stem foot, which happens to be the left foot, bears no weight or very little weight. Therefore, weightless or insubstantial foot can then move. You can see that the right or back foot is my post. It stabilizes me to allow my weightless foot to come out. If I had 2 weighted feet, which foot would give up the weight to make that foot move? If we don't process that thought, which is very important and underlying for Tai Chi, we will then fumble and stumble. Because there is nothing free, there is no foot that is free to make that motion or movement. And each foot has weight. We want to be able to have all the weight on one to allow the other one to move. This weighted or rooted foot contains all our energy, sometimes referred to or always referred to as Qi, our internal energy. If our internal energy is weighted on this rooted foot, it needs to be generated through our leg, our knees, our thighs, our hips, our waist, our chest, our shoulders, our body, to then come out to be evenly distributed. That is a very important sentence there. Long but important. In order for me to transfer my energy, which is rooted or substantially on my right foot, and I am able to move my insubstantial, it does not jump from here to here. It needs to slowly grow into our system, come across, and then come out on a 50-50, about a 50-50. The reason why you need to understand this is because if you did not, and you root it down, weightless foot that needs to be moved, heel comes out, and you come down, this is a misalignment. It could hurt your knees and other joints. So That sounds a little scary, but if you can understand that all your energy and body weight is on this back foot to allow this foot to move, all we need to do is think through the process. Energy needs to come up, around, out, and then down. Now we have 50-50. What are we going to do? We can't move until something is weightless. The one foot is weightless. Therefore, we're going to have to sit back and sit down on an imaginary stool. Therefore, I'm holding all my body weight here. I can now pivot. And when I pivot, I want to be on the line or parallel to the line. I do not want it this way. I want it turned all the way to flat on the line or parallel. This now becomes my rooted, or all my energy is going to be on this foot, because this foot now, this is the cap of the T. This then becomes the stem of the T, my weightless foot. Therefore, I can move it. I put it out to the side on my heel. The energy now has to be generated across and come down this way. All right? So let's put it to good use and see if we can make our body and our feet work for us in the way that I explained. I'm going to ask you to put your hands at your waist. I want you to root down or plant your energy on your right foot. Whereas the left foot, I want you to turn it to make the stem of the capital letter T. Then for understanding, I want you to just lift it up. So you know that this foot that you're lifting up, which is your left foot, is called an insubstantial foot or a weightless foot that is allowed to move because all your energy and weight is on the cap or the right foot. Hands at your waist. We want to come out and to the side. Can we use our hands to show me where your foot or heel will come? It needs to come where? Out and to the side. One more time. Out and to the side, but in one motion on your heel. So it needs to come here on your heel, right? Where does it have to come? Out and to the side in one motion on your heel. Show me. Out and to the side on your heel. Do you have a gap if you drag that heel and foot back? Do you have a gap? This is what I mean by a gap. There needs to be a definite space between the 2 feet if you should drag it back. And most of you haven't, not all of you. All right, but that doesn't mean that you can improve on it, okay? You can improve on it, okay? So everybody's watching. What I said was that we're rooted down on our back. We have an insubstantial that can move. We said that we needed, this is a T stance. We said that we wanted to come out and to the side in one motion on our heel. Therefore, I need to bring it out and to the side on the heel in one motion. But I can only do that if I have a space between my 2 feet. All right? I'll give you the reason in a little while. To do it incorrectly, okay, and everybody's watching because they don't want to be wrong. She said that you need to come out and to the side. But if you find that you do come out and to the side and you don't come out further enough and you drag it back, there's not enough space, which is sort of incorrect. But gradually, what I would like you to do is come further out and to the side to have that space. If you find it too hard to do, more than likely you are taking too far out and too far to the side. Therefore, you split yourself. So what do you do to adjust? You take a smaller out and to the side, not a wider. You take it, bring it in a little bit more. Right? So we all understand so far. Any questions? Okay. So the feet work are very important because once we start to lay the groundwork with our feet, we're going to add another layer on, which is what do our hands do to match our feet work and our whole body work, okay? So it's important to take them apart and to understand. I said that I would give you a reason as to why I wanted the span. If we came out into the side, and I know even by not even drawing it back, there will be a gap, I can better move my energy and come down this way, which is the next movement. If I did not have that span, I wouldn't know how to turn. I couldn't turn fully without causing stress to my knee joints and hips. Okay, so the name of the game is to understand our body, use it in the best way we know how, so that we are always safe. How will we gain that? What is the key to making that come true? The key is practice, understanding, and using your body in the best way. Hopefully, through the discipline and the routine that you learn in class and through Tai Chi, it'll carry over into our everyday activities. Okay? All right, let's practice. Hands at your waist on a T stance, root it down. We are on a T stance, we want to come into an L stance. Out and to the side on our heel. Move that energy from the back foot all the way across, flatten out, bow stance. In a bow stance, there are certain requirements. The knee of the front foot, which happens to be left, cannot go beyond the toe. If you do it with me, where the knee goes beyond the toe, what happens to your body? Your body shifts forward. Therefore, we are not in good Tai Chi position or posture. It is more than likely, if somebody brushed by us, we would fall forward. However, if you bring your knee back and then align it with your toes, you are stable and upright. You are stronger. All right, so this is called a bow stance. This is now called the sit back. We bring our body weight shifted to the back foot and we sit on a stool, imaginary stool, to allow now our left foot to twist or pivot on a line or parallel to the line so that we're now looking at the bulletin board wall. I keep my foot here to plant my energy rather than moving that other foot and bringing it up to a T stance. Now we can do the other side. Right foot comes out into the side on a heel. Here we go. Where is the energy? It's still in the back left foot. We move that energy. We turn our hips and waist and torso. We flatten up the right foot. We're on a bow stance. Why is this called a bow stance? The front or right foot is the bend of a bow and arrow. The left or back foot is the arrow, straight, without a buckle in the knee. So let's give me a straight arrow. Let's give me a knee in line with the toes. Let's go down and buckle the arrow. What happens to your posture? It does not keep in line with our cable. Therefore, it needs to be an arrow straight. However, do not overemphasize it and tighten it up and lock it up, okay? Because this needs to be relaxed but yet straight. Similarly, when we throw our knee over our toe, we find our body shifting and not upright. So those are the parameters for a bow stance. We have 50-50. We need to somehow think about how we can move. Therefore, we can sit back by putting all our body weight on the back foot. If our body weight is on our back foot, more than likely our back leg, the knee has to be bent. Come back to this bow stance and say, I can sit back without bending my knee. what happens? The body weight is almost evenly distributed. It's still on my heeled foot. Therefore, I have to bend that, flex that knee, and sit down to allow movement on my right foot. Once I understand that and I'm ready to go, I can now pivot that right foot, turn it onto a line or parallel to the line. I'm going to root it down. I'm not coming up for air. And I'm moving the weightless foot to the letter T. And on it goes. Energy up, over, across, and down. Looking for parameters for a bow stance or bow and arrow. Sitting back, sitting down. Pivoting on the weightless or almost weightless foot, parallel on a line. Takes that energy, alternating. T. Out and to the side on the heel. Move that energy. Flatten down. Make the adjustment in the back foot. Checking to see if our knee is in line. Checking to see if our arrow is straight. Then sit back and sit down, making sure you flex that back knee. Allowing our pivot to occur, rooting down, bringing it to a T, out and to the side, move that energy up and across and down, bow and arrow, sit back and sit down, pivot, line, weight down, root down, T, out and to the side, energy up, across, over the hill, and down. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. This time, hold your ball on a T stance. How do you hold your ball? The left hand is 2 inches below your navel. The right hand is about chest level. You're holding a ball, therefore your fingers are rounded and soft. It's not sitting against your body, it's slightly away, but not too far away, because that will shift my Tai Chi posture. So you're gonna have to bring it in a little bit. Okay? When we hold our ball, we can still move. This is the hand part of it now. We're on a T stance. Okay? We want to come out and to the side, and our bottom hand advances. Out and to the side, bottom hand advances, turns the hips and weights, and the hand is out there going for the ride. So what I mean by that, let's find out. Sit back and sit down. Pivot, weight down or root down, left hand on the top, right hand on the bottom, holding a ball on the T. Right heel out, right hand out, turn the hips and waist, right hand goes for the ride as if it were presenting a snack to the friend in front of you. Sit back and sit down. Pivot, root down, right hand on the top, left hand on the bottom to hold your ball on the T. Out and to the side, move the bottom hand through using your core muscles. Present your snack to the friend in front of you. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Right hand on the bottom, left hand on the top to hold your ball to center. Out on a right hand, right foot. Heart, dwell versus me. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Hold your ball on a T stance. Hold your ball on a T stance. I'm the only one that's going to move. I'm the only one that's going to move. Okay, now wait. Hold your hands there. Ask yourself, is your ball centering your body? And is your body centered? Not to the sides, but centered. This is where you should be. Even though you know you're going that way, this way for me, you cannot start to turn. You have to be centered and root it down. Show me how you root down. Good. So can you show me that this is weightless? Okay. All right. So far, so good, okay? So this is what I try to teach you. Okay, you can watch first because you can see things that maybe you weren't able to do or understand. We said that we were on a T stance holding our ball. We said that we are rooted down because if we were holding up straight this way, it's not Tai Chi posture and we have two weighted feet. So we want to be able to hold the weight on one of the back foot. The size of the ball is 2 inches below your navel. Top of the ball is about chest level. Sometimes when I teach it, or most of the times, I say palm to palm. But in motion, when we are actually moving, it's more like this. But for a beginner, we could start like this. Once we start to move, and especially with the other forms, the ball is like this. We also looked at the fact that we cannot center our ball this way. This is surely not centered. We're using our ball because we need to have better balance. The ball helps us to center or stabilize our movement. If we did not have a ball, we would have to rely just on our feet. But we said that in Tai Chi, we use our whole body and mind to help us. We then said that we need to come out on an L stance, but keep that energy stored on our back foot. We come out this way. The hand moves with the feet. The bottom hand is left. The foot that's moving is the left. So you can check yourself. If for some reason you are tangled up like this, the bottom hand has to go this way or the bottom hand has to go that way. The bottom hand advances. That means left foot, left hand have to be in coordination, have to be in sync. We said we need to come out into the side. I'm centered, I plant it down. Out on an L, bottom hand advances. I can leave my hand here, but as soon as I turn my hips and waist and use my core, the hand advances. Watch again and watch carefully. I said that if I put my hand out and use my body, my hand goes for the ride. Now, if it should not go for the ride, which is wrong, and we purely used hands, this is how it would be. My body, my hips are misaligned. I did nothing for this hand. All I did was shoot it out here. That's not Tai Chi. So what is Tai Chi? Using your core to make the movement happen. Can we try that? On a T stance, holding our ball, we said that we're rooted down on our right, our back. Out on an L, extend that hand, use your hips, waist, and core to make your movement happen. And all at the end we do is maybe flick our wrist a little bit to show the snack to the person in front of us. Sit back and sit down. Twist. Left hand on the top, right hand on the bottom, holding a ball, rooted down. Out to the side, bottom hand advances. Turn the hips and waist. Make that apparent and don't make it a hand movement. Sit back and sit down. Pivot. Hold your ball on the tee. Center. Heel. Move that bottom hand. Turn the hips and waist and energy. Flick that wrist. Bow stance. Sit back and sit down. Pivot. Root down. Tee and ball. Centered. Right foot, right hand. Move the hips and waist and energy. Bow stance. Bow and arrow. Sit back and sit down. Pivot. Hold your ball centered. Give me a good root down. Hold your stance. Let me look at you. Okay, very good. Very good. All right, so now you know what to do for homework, right? And hopefully you'll do it with some understanding of what she meant by the hand just goes for a ride. Okay, and then once we learn that strategy, all of Tai Chi will make better sense. that nothing is done by itself. The hands don't work just because it needs to just get out there. It gets out there because our mind and our body wants it and focuses it to make it happen. So that's the beauty, that's the challenge of Tai Chi. It helps you to learn more about your body and how only you have the power of working it through and understanding it. Okay? All right. So what we have learned so far are at least 3 different movements within the 10 form, although they are not in sequence. We learn 1, which is Golden Cockerel standing on its left, and 2, Golden Cockerel standing on its right, which is sometimes lumped together as one movement. We learned a second movement with 2 parts, calling kick out with our right, and also kicking out with our left. We also incorporated through our warm-up exercise, parting of the wild horse's mane. When we part the wild horse's mane, we are serving a snack to our friend in front of us. What we usually do in all our movements and all of Yang Tai Chi, in general, we do both sides of the body, right side and the left side. There are some transitional movements that only are one movement, such as needle to the bottom of the sea, which occurs only in the 24 form. In Yang 10 form, we will have pairs of movements. So right now, to end the class, we're going to do all of the 10 form. And you're going to say, well, I don't even know. She didn't even taught us. Well, this is the beginning of being able to learn, and for me to teach you is to get an overview of what Yang 10 form is like, and then to give you the experience that in successive weeks we will tackle it. And I can't guarantee.